And I also replied charmingly, "Senior sister." "You're so bad. I feel so ashamed." But Muyuking looked at me with contempt. A few days later, everyone was sitting on the ground and practicing in Taiming sect. But I slumped on the ground, looking bored. I remembered what Bei Sujin said to us before. There are 3 assessments in total. The previous test of talent was 1 time. The floating time counts as 1. There will be a combat assessment later. You need to hurry up and practice. Reach the tempering body realm, then you will pass the assessment. I thought it was so boring. I wonder if the combat assessment could be more interesting. Suddenly, a voice came, "Junior sister." I turned around and saw. It was Bai Sujin. She continued, "You are so lazy. No matter how talented you are, you won't be able to reach the tempered body realm. You should change your attitude and practice hard." Just then, a muscular man came over. He said that you are just a group of trial disciples now. Only by passing the combat assessment in 3 months can you be promoted to outer disciples. If you can't reach the broken body realm in 3 months, the combat assessment will be in doubt. Then he punched directly and then showed off his muscles. He said, "I am in charge of you, the disciples of the test. Who is in charge of your martial arts training? You can call me Teacher Billy. Let's start our pleasant practice together." Then he stood in the center of the martial arts field and continued, "I have taught you the basic cultivation method, Lingwu Manual. I believe you have already learned it. How to absorb the spiritual energy. Next, I will teach you the basic weapons that can use spiritual energy." Then he directly used the tiger roar and dragon roar. Then he took out a secret manual and said, "How about it? This dragon tiger fist looks very powerful, right? The secret of medicine is written in this book. You can study it by yourself first." "Elder, I'll go to the bathroom." Then Muyuking started practicing it directly and thought this move seemed very simple. I looked so cute with a smile on my face. Then she thought, "This dragon and tiger bone fist is too bad. With many flaws, this is misleading the students. I can't delay Nana. I have to think of a way." Then I thought with a shocked face, Lily always made excuses to run away. Everyone was reading that dense word sequence. Then I was excited. An hour later, everyone was exhausted and lay on the ground. And while everyone wasn't paying attention, I changed the content of the book now. Is this worthy of the name Longjin Tiger City? The person who created this weapon should really thank me. Then I thought again. But this enhanced version of the cheat sheet, and give it back to Teacher Billy. It's a waste. I have a plan. And let him see my power. That night, I sneaked into the house where Bai Sujin lived. I pushed the door open directly. Bai Sujin got up from the bed, looked at me and said, "Junior sister, you come late at night. What do you want from me?" Sister Bai sat up and said, "Saying that you sneaked into my room so late. Aren't you afraid that I will throw you off the mountain?" I smiled. I said I came at night because I had something urgent. Besides, I've heard rumors about senior sister Bai. I dare not have any impure thoughts, but your current appearance, it's hard not to make people think about it. Bai Sujin heard this, tightened her clothes. She said with a blush on her face, "You said you didn't. You really deserve a beating." Then I sat down. Bai Sujin poured tea and asked, "Tell me, what's the matter that you must come at this time?" Suddenly, the door was opened. A woman walked in and said, "Senior sister." "Who is this?" Bai Sujin replied, a little embarrassed. "He is a new disciple named Lin. I came to discuss something with me tonight." One bowed and said, I said, "Hello, senior sister. I'm Lin Jae." And the senior sister looked at me with admiration. I said, "My name is Lin Yin." "Sister, you are so beautiful. There must be many men who admire you." I leaned towards her and said, "Actually I am." At this moment, Bai Sujin interrupted me. I said, "Lin Jae, you speak first. What do you need to explain?" I took out the book I had revised from my arms. I said, "Senior sister Bai, you'll know after reading this." She took it and flipped through it. She murmured, "This is the dragon muscle tiger bone fist. Equity," and seemed a little different. I put it on the table. I said, "It's the dragon muscle tiger bone fist, but after my modification and become stronger. With your eyes, Bai Shiji, you should be able to see it." And senior sister Lin Yin slapped the table with both hands. She shouted, "What a joke!" Dragon and tiger bone fist is a basic martial art passed down from ancient times. After countless predecessors' editions, it has been perfected to perfection. You can change it as you like. And Sister Bai continued to look at the manual. She said, "That's right. Brother Lin, you stole the manual and messed it up. You deserve punishment." I replied, "Whether it was scribbling or not. Sister Bai will know if she continues to read it. Anyway, it won't take much time." Sister Lin Yin sat aside, and Sister Bai continued to read it. She felt more and more wrong, and finally trembled all over. But I was extremely happy inside. I thought that for dancers, intense attraction is irresistible. This reaction is like reading pornographic books. It was so cool, but I said on the surface, "Senior sister Bai, are you okay?" Then Bai Sulin put the secret book heavily on the table and grabbed my arm with both hands and said excitedly that you really modified it. "I didn't expect your attainments in weapons to be so high. I will take this manual to the sect leader and elders to show them. I'm sure they will be surprised too." Then he asked Xiang Wu, "Have you lost your sincerity?" I replied proudly, "No. It's natural." Then he said to senior sister Lin Yin, "You go back first, and we'll talk about it tomorrow." Sister Lin replied, "Oh, sister, I'll take my leave first." There were only me and senior sister Bai left in the room. Sister Bai came closer and said, Lin, join our BU pavilion. I was puzzled and asked, BU pavilion? What is BU pavilion? Bai Sujin explained BUj is one of the branches of Taiming sect. There are also the sword hanging hall, the sand knife hall, and the Kuanyuhua pavilion, Balian hall and Linden hall. After passing the final test, new outer disciples have to choose one of them. After joining the branch, you mainly learn the sect's skills and secrets. If you have extraordinary talent, you may be selected as direct disciple. I smiled and I replied, is BU Pavilion very strong? What are the benefits of joining? Bai Sujin stroked her hair and said, she said that the BU Pavilion only accepts female disciples. I slapped the table and replied, don't joke. Sister Bai, you know, I'm a man. It's unreasonable. I was about to open the door and go out. Sister Bai said again, because you are a man. Joining BO Pavilion is a good thing. With your appearance, other female disciples won't find out. Like junior sister Lin, she didn't find out. She looked at me, and I looked careless, and said firmly, I won't. What do you think of me? I am a real man. Then senior sister Bai looked at me and said, what would it take for you to join? I directly grabbed her hands and said, senior sister Bai, I fell in love with you at first sight. If you are willing to marry me, I will join BU Pavilion. Is that okay? Suddenly, senior sister Bai picked up her sword and hit me directly in the face. She said, you're not serious. I said, wait. I suddenly attacked. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I was directly knocked to the ground. Bai Sujin continued, no more next time. Cut the crap. You have no choice. If you don't want to join as a man, I'll turn you into a woman now. I said in horror, senior sister. Please spare me. I have a family, can't I? Bai Sujin smiled and said, good. Then you can go out now? I walked out. I thought senior sister Bai was quite interesting. The way to win me over is to let me join. BU Pavilion? It seems that it's going to be interesting. While in the room, Bai Sujin leaned against the door and looked a little shy. In Kaming Hall, everyone held the revised cheat sheet I modified and watched it. Elder Duan of Bailian Hall exclaimed, wonderful. Wonderful. Elder Han of Dan Pavilion also said unexpectedly, the new disciple has such a high talent in martial arts. It's incredible. After seeing it, Elder Min of Shuangjian Hall said, he said with shining eyes, that this child belongs to our sword-hanging hall. But Elder Shangguan of the Slaughtering Sword Hall roared angrily, shut up! Shameless old thief! I've never seen such a shameless person. Then the two looked at each other, and they started fighting again. At this time, Elder Han said that after several days of observation, I found that Dandan has a talent for alchemy. Moreover, with a 6-star talent, only our Linden Pavilion can continuously provide pills. So I won't compete with you, Lin. The sect leader said angrily, "You two idiots. Roll outside." Then Elder Min and Elder Shangguan stopped fighting. And Elder Jae-yoon of Chongxia Pavilion said at this time, "We Kanhage have no intention of competing for Min-jae. However, that little girl named Mu Yu-king, we Kanhage want."